The NBA trade deadline is heating up, and the Golden State Warriors are at a crossroads. Will they make a blockbuster move to save their season, or will they sit back and risk falling behind in the West? With Andrew Wiggins' trade value dropping, Chris Paul injured, and Klay Thompson's future uncertain, the pressure is on. Could a last-minute trade shake up the entire league and bring the dynasty back? Or is this the beginning of the end for the Warriors? Dub Nation, what do you think? Drop a comment, hit that like button, and stay tuned for more updates. Yo, what's up, Dub Nation? The NBA world is absolutely going crazy right now, and the Golden State Warriors are right in the middle of all the madness. With the trade deadline heating up, rumors are swirling, deals are being made, and the Warriors front office is scrambling to figure out their next move. But what if I told you that a potential deal could flip the entire league upside down? What if I told you that the Warriors could still pull off a move that brings them back into the championship conversation? And what if I told you that the dynasty isn't dead yet? That's right, there's a lot to talk about, so let's break it all down. First things first, the NBA trade market is getting wild. Teams are making moves left and right, and the Warriors are feeling the pressure to do something big. They're sitting at a crossroads. Do they go all in and try to compete for another championship? Or do they take a step back and start focusing on the future? This is the question that has been haunting Warriors fans all season long, and now, as the deadline inches closer, the pressure is mounting. One of the biggest problems the Warriors have right now is that their current roster just isn't cutting it. The inconsistency has been brutal to watch. One night, they look like a team that could make a deep playoff run, and the next, they look like a squad that doesn't even belong in the conversation. That's why the front office is scrambling to make a move. They know that standing still isn't an option, especially with teams in the Western Conference loading up for a deep postseason run. The biggest name that's been thrown around in trade rumors is Andrew Wiggins. Just 2 years ago, Wiggins was an all-star starter and a key piece in the Warriors' championship run. But this season? He's been a shadow of himself. His numbers have dropped, his impact on defense isn't what it used to be, and his trade value has taken a serious hit. The Warriors would love to move Wiggins to free up cap space and bring in a more consistent contributor, but the reality is, teams around the league aren't exactly lining up to take on his contract. Then there's Chris Paul. When the Warriors traded for CP3 in the offseason, the hope was that he'd bring veteran leadership and stability to the second unit. And to be fair, when he's been on the court, he's actually been solid. But the problem is, injuries keep getting in the way, and now his trade value isn't as strong as the Warriors had hoped. His contract could still be useful in a trade since it's non-guaranteed next season, but the question is, what can the Warriors realistically get for him? Now, let's talk about the dream scenario. What if the Warriors actually pull off a deal that makes the entire NBA sit up and take notice? What if they land a player who immediately changes their fortunes? There have been whispers about the Warriors trying to land a big-time wing player, someone who can provide scoring, defense, and versatility. A guy like Mikal Bridges or even DeJounte Murray would be a perfect fit. But making that kind of move won't be easy, especially since the Warriors are hesitant to part with their young assets. Speaking of young assets, Jonathan Kuminga is a name that has come up in trade discussions, but let's be real, trading Kuminga would be a massive mistake. He's been one of the Warriors' most promising players, showing flashes of superstar potential with his insane athleticism and defensive upside. If the Warriors were to trade Kuminga just to dump Wiggins' contract, it could be a move they regret for years to come. Another player who's been in and out of the trade rumor mill is Klay Thompson. This is a tough one. Klay is a Warriors legend, no doubt about it. He's been part of the dynasty from the very beginning, hitting countless clutch shots and playing elite defense when the team needed it most. But the truth is, he hasn't looked like the same player this season. His shooting has been inconsistent, and defensively, he's not the lockdown perimeter guy he once was. With Klay set to become a free agent this summer, the Warriors have to make a difficult decision. Do they try to trade him now and get something in return, or do they ride it out and risk losing him for nothing in free agency? The good news for the Warriors is that Steph Curry is still playing at an MVP level. He's been doing everything he can to keep this team afloat, putting up ridiculous numbers night after night. But here's the thing, Curry isn't getting any younger. The Warriors owe it to him to build a roster that can actually compete for a championship. If they waste another season of Steph's prime without making a move, it could be a decision that haunts the franchise for years. But let's get back to the big question: what's the best move for the Warriors right now? If they can't trade Wiggins, and if they don't want to move their young players, what's the next best option? One possibility is looking at role players who can make an immediate impact. The Warriors need more size, more defense, and more consistent shooting. A guy like Alex Caruso could be a perfect fit, bringing elite perimeter defense and championship experience. Another name that's been floated around is P.J. Washington, a versatile forward who could provide a much-needed boost in the frontcourt. But here's where things get complicated: the Western Conference is stacked. The Denver Nuggets are still the team to beat, the Clippers have been on a tear, the Suns are dangerous when healthy, and even teams like the Timberwolves and Mavericks have been making moves to get better. If the Warriors don't make a significant upgrade, they could find themselves falling behind in the standings with no real shot at making a deep playoff run. And that brings us to the nightmare scenario: what if the Warriors do nothing? What if they go into the trade deadline with all these rumors swirling, only to end up standing pat? That would be a disaster. This team is clearly not good enough as currently constructed, and if they failed to make any moves, it could mean the end of their playoff hopes. Worse yet, it could signal the beginning of the end for the dynasty. But wait, there's still hope. The Warriors front office knows the pressure is on. They know they have to make a move, and they know they can't afford to waste another year of Steph's greatness. Maybe they pull off a last-minute trade that shocks the league. Maybe they find a way to get off Wiggins' contract without giving up too many assets. Maybe they land a player who immediately makes them a contender again. At the end of the day, this trade deadline could determine the future of the Warriors franchise. If they make the right move, they could put themselves right back in the mix for a championship. But if they fail to act, they could be looking at another wasted season, and possibly the end of an era. So what do you think, Dub Nation? Should the Warriors go all in and make a big move? Should they be patient and trust the core? Or is this the beginning of the end for the dynasty? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to hit that like button if you want to see the Warriors make a move, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest Warriors news and updates. This trade deadline is going to be insane, and we'll be here to break it all down. Stay locked in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.